Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ern-Ern Perez, and our topic for today is all about Edgar Allan Poe and his poems and also his short story. Now, let's start. Okay. Edgar Allan Poe was born on January 19, 1809 in Boston, Massachusetts, U.S. He was died on October 7, 1849 in Baltimore, Maryland. He was an American short story writer, poet, critic, and editor who is famous for his cultivation of mystery and the macabre. Okay, now, he is widely regarded as a central figure of Romanticism in the United States and of American literature as a whole. And he was one of the country's earliest practitioners of the short story. He is also generally considered the inventor of the detective fiction genre and is further credited with contributing to the emerging genre of science fiction. Poe was the first well-known American writer to earn a living through writing alone, resulting in a financially difficult life and career. Okay, now his tale, The Raven, 1845, numbers among the best-known poems in the national literature.
The Raven. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
The opening line of his poem proved to be a quite theoretical initiating with the classic na Once Upon a Time. Similar siya sa mga fairy tale na introduction. And also ang melodramatic na Weak and Weary, which is nag-describe sa panahon nga boring na duyom. And that picture sa first stanza na very emotional og kapoy si character sa story. And the chamber door sab na meaning is nag-symbolize ng insecurities due to him pondering and getting lost in thought. Annabel Lee is the last complete poem composed by American author Edgar Allan Poe.
It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me.
So, sa first two line, tag-imagine na ang story was happened a long time ago. And also, ang tone ng poem is kind of a fairy tale which nagpasabot sa experience ni speaker. And sa third line is, it was said na maiden which is si Annabel. Ang maiden nag-describe as a young and beautiful lady. And sa last line, nag-describe na waya na ilain taghuna-huna si Jack, kundi higugmaon ra ang speaker and they both in love. This set up the speaker, Annabel, as very relatable characters as the majority of the readers will be able to connect with the memory of young love. The cask of Amontillado is the story of a man named Montresor who decided to seek revenge against a man named Fortunato who has insulted him. He meets Fortunato at a carnival, lures him into the catacombs of his home, and buries him alive. Now,
And he did not
Poe
perceive that my
achieves
smile now was
what
a
he
thought
calls the
of his
unity
mind.
of effect by building each element na ang naging result sa story is revenge of secret murder. Ang story na ini is nagpakita ng horror of pure evil na tagplanuhan o tagbanta-bantaan ang pag-set up sa pagpatay kay Fortunato na ang pagpatay sa ija is taglubong gajud siya ng buhi. And bisan ang ending gajud sa ini na part, waya gajud na feel na guilty ang Montresor. O ang pagpatay sa kay Fortunato, waya gajud ka ng hint sa ija or any idea man lang kung
My
naunsa.
dear Fortunato,
Og ang sa kay Montresor,
remarkably well you are looking
they
today.
were really
I
described in
acquired a
here
rare cask of
as
wine
truly
which
and
passes for
evil. So, kaning mga poems o stories is grabe gajud siya kapangahaba. So, ako ra kan kibali siya tag gamay ra ako gikuha dito sa ila na mga lines. So, kung ako pa ini siya ipakuan diri sa ijo, madugay na siya. So, ako ra kan siya tagpagamay. So, amo ra adto tanan. Thank you for listening.